Okay, so like imagine this, right? You walk into a factory, huge place, and there's this massive production line.
Right.
Each machine, it's like doing one specific job. Now
Yep.
picture this. Instead of this whole intricate setup, there's just one machine, and it can handle the entire process
Wow.
from start to finish perfectly. Wouldn't that be something?
It'd be incredible. And it's funny you should mention that. That's the kind of like radical shift we need, but for marketing technology. Yeah. We've been stuck, cobbling together all these Martech stacks.
Right.
But are we really getting the best results, or are we just, I don't know, making things more complicated than they need to be?
I feel like we're trying to make like a gourmet meal, but with these mismatched tools,
Mm-hmm.
You might eventually get there, but it's a mess. And Mike Boysen, in his article, he's like, we put up with these clunky systems while chasing this dream of like these seamless customer experiences. It's kind of ironic when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like we're carrying around all this baggage.
Haha, baggage.
Yeah, these ideas that marketing has to be this way,
Hmm.
that we need a separate tool for emails, for automation, for analytics, you name it.
Ugh, don't even get me started on feature bloat. It's like you log into a platform and it's overwhelming. All these options and settings, you'll never even use half of them.
And you're paying for it all.
Right. Look, what's the point? Take those marketing automation platforms, so many features, and yet marketers always complain about the clunky interface, the workflows are too much.
It makes you wonder, why isn't there a more streamlined approach?
Exactly.
Well, Boysen, he wants us to ask that question, like really ask it. He says we need to totally rethink how we approach marketing technology.
Okay, I'm listening.
So instead of beginning with, what can this tool do? We should be focused on, what are we actually trying to achieve with our marketing?
Interesting. So almost like flipping the script?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Figure out your goals, and then you find, or even build solutions that fit those goals.
Putting the customer first and working backward. It's like Amazon, right? Think about Amazon Web Services, AWS.
PWS, yeah.
They didn't start out trying to be this cloud computing giant. They built AWS because they needed a better way to deal with their own data storage. It's wild. They basically created this powerhouse solution just by, solving their own problem.
Exactly. And it shows what can happen when you shift your focus. Like, instead of thinking about what you think about what could be. What if we did that with marketing technology?
I love that. A clean slate, like hitting the reset button. But it's easy to get overwhelmed, right? I mean, there's so much going on in the Martech world.
Right. It's a lot to take in. But that's why, changing your perspective is so important. Don't get lost in the weeds with every single vendor and feature. Think bigger picture.
Back to basics.
Yes. What is marketing really about?
Understanding your audience, crafting messages that resonate, figuring out the best way to reach them.
Yes. And doing it in a way that creates value for the customer and the business. And that actually connects with another important point Boysen makes. He says, think of marketing teams like customers themselves.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They have their own internal suppliers, their own internal customers.
So it's like marketing is its own little ecosystem.
Exactly. It has its own supply chain. Think about it. You've got marketing teams, and they need data, creative assets, budget approvals. They're getting all this input from different suppliers inside the company.
Makes sense.
And then they're serving their own customers.
Like sales teams that need leads.
Yeah, sales teams, executives who need reports,
And I bet, just like with any supply chain, things can get, messy.
Exactly. Inefficient, silos everywhere, tools that don't work together. It's a recipe for disaster.
It's like we're stuck in the dark ages of marketing. Trying to run a global company with like carrier pigeons and handwritten notes. You might get lucky, but it's not exactly efficient.
And it's definitely not setting us up for the kind of big change that Boysen's talking about. He says we need a totally new way of thinking about marketing technology. We have to let go of these old ideas and put the customer at the center of everything.
Okay, I get it, customer centricity. But what does that actually look like in terms of like the technology itself?
Well, for one thing, it has to be easy to use, the interface, the whole experience.
Makes sense.
But it's more than that. It's about solutions that are not only user-friendly, but also fit seamlessly into how customers interact with your brand. Imagine a platform that anticipates your audience's needs and delivers personalized value, like at every step, from the first time they encounter your brand all the way to becoming loyal customers.
No more just blasting out generic messages.
Right. It's about moving away from spray and pray and towards a more targeted approach.
Driven by data.
Exactly. And speaking of data, that's another thing Boysen brings up. We have all this data, but are we using it right? I mean, are we really understanding our customers?
We got all the ingredients, but no idea what to make with them.
Yes. We need to become like master chefs of data, and the right technology can help with that. Not just gathering data, but really understanding what it means.
So we need the skills to use the tools. It's like having a fancy oven, but if you don't know how to cook.
Exactly. And that's what makes Boysen's article so powerful. He's challenging us, to rethink our relationship with technology, to demand more from our tools.
To really push the boundaries.
Yes, to
Yeah.
strive for those truly exceptional customer experiences. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the tools themselves. It's about what we achieve with them.
It's about connecting with customers, creating real value.
You got it. So as you're navigating the world of marketing technology, remember what we talked about today. Question everything, think big, and never stop trying to make those connections stronger, more meaningful.
Great advice. And on that note, we'll leave you with one last thought. If you could create the perfect marketing technology, what would it look like? What problems would it solve? How would it help you connect with your customers on a deeper level? Keep those ideas coming because the future of Martech is waiting to be written.
Maybe you'll be the one to write it. Until next time.